Good evening. My name is Clayton Vasey, and I have the distinct honor of speaking on behalf of the role of Valedictorian. As you listen to me ramble on, look on your sons and daughters, your nephews and nieces, your grandsons and granddaughters, and feel nothing but pride and excitement for all that they have achieved and all that they have yet to achieve. Now, as promised, the rambling. The hallmark of the human mind is the ability to form connections and associations. By making these metaphors, we are able to understand complex ideas or processes much easier. Life adheres to this general rule. Life is difficult to understand, especially when being experienced in the present and not in reflection. Therefore, many have attempted to use metaphors to explain life's complexity for others to ponder. Some we hear so often, they've become cliché. Roads, roller coasters, marathons. However, the most accurate and useful comparison comes in the form of a book. Our lives are works of literature, completely under the penmanship of ourselves. Our births are the front covers and titles. They grab attention from family and strangers alike, attracting those to follow our growth, aid in our development, and read the rest of our lives. We are given a name and a family, much like books are given a title and genre. Some are named to honor predecessors, others are named to be unique and stand out. Either way, our titles ultimately do not define what lies in our pages. We have the power to diverge from what expectations of our readers. As we begin to compile all that we need to write, we are free to choose our subject as we enter adolescence. These teen years are like the forewords about the authors and introductions. Here we must make conscious decisions on what to write about. We absorb enough knowledge to decide for ourselves. We learn what is right. We discover what interests us. These forewords, much like our education, are vital to our understanding of what lies ahead, but also a long, agonizing process to write, develop, and for others to deal with. As teenagers, we tend to rebel and bite the hand that feeds us. But thankfully, those that care stay no matter the harsh words, the indecision, or pain. Teachers seem to only observe the good in both the metaphorical, for teenage, and literary forewords. Their practice is support and undoubted aid in the molding of the book of life. These forewords also reveal to us that there are people to thank for achieving all that we have, and all that we are able to achieve. Everyone has someone that would like to thank for where they are. It may be a parent, an influential teacher, maybe even a neighbor. Personally, I'd like to give credit to my mother for pushing me to keep writing and taking my first flight, my father for believing in my work, and Mrs. Cave Maddie, my second mother, for all she has voluntarily done. The minute you throw that cap up, you flip that page and begin writing the first chapter of the rest of your life. From that moment on, you are drafting, editing, and publishing all that you are. Some of us will write of great success, grandeur, and extravagance, much like Jay in The Great Gatsby. Others will write of travels, adventures, and amazing escapades, much like the wart in The Sword and the Stone. The rest will write of a humble and honest life, much like that of George and Lenny in Of Mice and Men. No two novels are identical, therefore no two lives will be identical. That is the great thing about life. As long as you keep writing, as long as you can't put the book down, your life is all it was ever meant to be, because you are happy. As long as you stay humble, work hard, be honest, and be persistent, you are writing the next New York Times bestseller. You write your own book. That is the great thing about both literature and life. You have the power to fill the pages with whatever you choose. In conclusion, as young adults, we have struggled for so long to fit in. Other metaphors besides literature are capable of remedying this conflict. I'll leave you with this. Specifically, I've realized that life is not a puzzle with rigid fixed edges that we must fit within perfectly, but rather a canvas on which we splatter the paint of individuality that in some way creates a masterpiece. And much like a canvas, books have hundreds of blank pages to fill with the same amount of personality, life stories, and heart. Thank you, friends, families, and neighbors for your support, understanding, and love during the penning of our drafts. I wish you all the best and a life well written. And now I'd like to introduce the class president, salutatorian, and my friend Rachel Malik.